life. I appreciate you liking my, subscribing to my YouTube channel. I decided just to do YouTube, not go to the other social media. This seems to be my platform right now. And I want to thank you very much for subscribing and being a part. I do vacillate between talking about the pendulum, changing energy. I'm all about changing the form of energy to bring in more love and light. I also talk about the 6D, and today I want to dive in and I talk about angels and the celestial beings and the galactic light beings and the ascended masters. It's whatever I feel that my soul is wanting to present today. So the most important thing is to remember how powerful you are. We all have a spiritual DNA that has the vibration range between low frequency and high frequency. It appears every day of your life. If you are doubtful, if you're stuck, if your life isn't on fire and you're making things happen, if you have anxiety, if you're worried, you're feeling resentment, whatever those emotions are, right? Those contribute to our spiritual DNA. So I just want to remind you that that's how powerful you are, that you can literally blink your eyes. You can go to a light switch, turn it on and off, and change your energy. That's probably the most important thing. With a pendulum, if I am feeling stuck or I have maybe some anxiety, I like to ask myself, is this my anxiety or is it somebody else's? Because I'm an empath and a lot of you are empaths. So remember to do that. If I ask a question to get yes or no, remember that's a 50% chance of yes or no. Not that I doubt any of you, because I just had my pendulum out today and that's what I did. I asked a yes or no. But to get the most accurate reading for you is to ask the question in a percent. That's what Grace teaches. So what percent am I balanced? What percent, especially let's talk about hijacking or implants or being hooked or hexed or whatever. And I'm bringing those up because if you're a light worker and or if you're interested in energy, you've encountered those kind of things. Oh, God, what a face. I froze. Somebody was calling and I clicked no, and then I made this face for about 10 seconds. Sorry about that. So with my pendulum, because this is for the pendulum lovers, we love energy. We love knowing that we can change the form of energy. This little pendulum, you guys, helps to build confidence and power and clarity within yourself. Now, back to asking questions. Gaslighting has been a big one because in the last 6 weeks, I was gaslit. And I know I'm a very high vibrational person. And I know I protect myself and I kind of ignored it, but I was getting, and I'm telling you this case this happens to you. I was being awakened in the middle of the night, usually midnight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I wasn't scared. It was, God, who's here to bother me, right? And so me just getting out a pendulum and asking to clear it is not enough for me, because I found that if you put a protection up, you have to be really strong, not yelling, not demanding, but you have to believe and you have to say it. So in gaslighting, it's the same sort of thing. Saying, okay, let's just say I've been gaslit. Okay, can I change this with the pendulum? And let's say, and I got a 80% yes, okay? Because I do feel that that's what you'll get. And the couple guys that answer to that they got a yes, okay? So then I went in and shifted the energy of it. However, emotions are involved. So gaslighting to me is just not black or white. When our energy has been messed with because you're on social media, you're gaming, you are listening to podcasts, you're watching all these YouTube videos. I mean, there's energy there that is intentionally trying to mess with you. And how do you know? The first thing I'm going to say to you, and then I'll get back to gaslighting. And I don't do this all the time, but I know this is your power, is before you watch a video, take the time. Yes or no? Is this one good for me to watch? You're going to get an answer without the pendulum. Just say yes or no. Another thing I'll tell you, I've used the pendulum so much, if I'm with a client or whether I'm by myself, I get an answer before I ask the pendulum. So pay attention if you can do that. You should be able to do that. If you haven't, you just haven't mastered the faith and the confidence to do that, trusting your intuition. Okay, now back to gaslighting. It is one of my favorite subjects because as a spiritual healer, I've experienced this many, many times. I've experienced being hooked and implanted, all this stuff of just trying to mess with my energy. Okay, so the pendulum, can the pendulum remove that? Yes, but if you don't believe it, the answer is no. You have to believe it. If you don't believe in the pendulum to be able to do that, then it's not going to do it. Now, so being gaslit, part of gaslighting, I'm not talking about, and I've mentioned this before, I'm not talking about the gaslighting that there's an abusive person at work that is trying to mess with you. I'm talking about gaslighting that somebody is remote viewing on you. They're setting the energy, trying to connect to your energy, okay? And I won't go into the details of it, but that's what they're doing. And then they're messing with you usually while you're sleeping. And so there again, here are some of the signs. Are you feeling like more negative and you know you're a positive person? Are you feeling a little hopeless? Are you feeling angry and you have no reason to feel anger, right? Or you're a little scared, like you're anxious, or you're getting awakened at midnight, 1, 2, in the middle of the night. Now, I've mentioned this before, I'm a visual person, so I see images, okay, that try to come in. And I see images for my intuition. So no, I'm not neurotic or psychotic because I get images. I'm very psychic and very intuitive, and I can get an image just talking to you. I could give you a reading and get the images. Remember, we are going into, well, that's a whole other subject. Okay, I won't even go there. So back to that. So if you're emotionally involved and it scared you, or you're angry that these things happened, I personally use the pendulum, but I use other methods. I have a healing modality called R.E.A.L Healing Methods. It will completely help you also. You can go to realhealingmethods.com/real, R-E-A-L, and that, I believe, is the page that will tell you about it. You can also go to judyjewett.com. That is my aura energy quiz. And when you take the quiz, I get a copy of it. And my intention is to go over it with you. And if you're on your spiritual path, but I see a lot of negativity coming through, then that tells me you're not balanced, by the way. And you just need help. It's not a big deal. It honestly is not a big deal. Okay, so back to gaslighting. So, and being hooked and being implanted, it's infuriating. It's infuriating because how dare somebody interfere with your energy field? That tells you that you probably also have a hole in your energy field, or some way you're not keeping your protection up. And everybody should be protecting themselves, and so forth. I've mentioned this before. And obviously I want to say it again because it's very important, and you might not have heard me say it. It's very important there again with YouTube or other videos that if you're going to watch it, ask your higher self, do I do this? Yes or no? Is this for my highest best good? Ask a yes or no question, because you'll get a yes or a no. The pendulum, you ask a percent, because that's what Raymond showed, and he's right, that when you ask a percent, your answer is more accurate, because we're so effing powerful, we can manipulate the pendulum. Okay. And so, I mean, that's what you want to do, right? You want to make sure that you're highly protected. So if you find that you're feeling nervous and your energy is off, implants can be removed very easily. Curses can be removed. No one is more effing powerful than you are. Don't forget that. And yes, I'm just going to say fuck, because that's, instead of me beating around the bush, no one is any more powerful than you. You are more powerful for yourself than anyone else. You have the answers, and you are enough. Don't forget it. When there are implants, back to implants and hooks and curses, it messes with your God eye. It messes with your third eye. And sometimes you know that it's blocked or it's partially blocked. And there's some techniques you can do to remove all that. You can get help. The best, your lesson in all this is, honestly, this is the bottom line, and it took me years to understand, that we are the spark, as you know, of the Creator, okay? You can use it for the good of humanity, or you can be negative Ned or Nancy. But you're not going to evolve as a spiritual being into the light unless you use it for the betterment of humanity. And with that, it's important to know, because we are the spark, that we are so capable of changing our world. But what happens, we're part of the collective consciousness, and around us can be a haze of all these beliefs that we don't even have, that are somebody else's. And that's one reason you want to clear your energy. So if you have been, you've had these experiences, these negative experiences, it's left you less confidence. I know it has. It has me. And it took me a long time to realize there's a lesson in all this. It's all fake. It's all not real. It really isn't. We feel like it is, right? In the life of Earth. But because we're so powerful, when we begin to really dive into energy and dimensions, you understand how you are in control of your own reality. And sometimes these are lessons to teach you to become stronger. When you, from your solar plexus, when you're able to release your core issue, which it doesn't just happen with the pendulum, guys, and don't even try to prove me wrong, because I'm going to tell you it's not. It's not. It's not. The pendulum is not designed to do your core soul work. That's your job. And if you want to escalate your energy field, and you want to escalate to a higher vibration, you do the inner work. So if you encounter these things, it's okay to get help from others, right? It's really okay. So reach out if you need any help. If there's a subject, a topic you want to talk about, please leave it. Send me a message, and I'll make sure I address that. This is the third time or second time I've said this. I am willing to do a group energy clearing, just why not, weekly. But I don't know how to set it up. Like, I don't want to just do it if people aren't there getting the results. Now, you go back and watch the video. Yes, you're going to get results, but I would like to do it in now time. So if this is something you want, and you have some suggestions of how I can post it on YouTube, and I can invite you guys, let me know. Okay. Thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you. And thank you for being a part of Conversations with Judy. Now I have to figure out how to shut this off.